everybody. Happy Friday. You've made it to the end of another super long week in isolation. I hope you're all doing okay. My name is Lucy. If you have not practiced with me before, thank you so much for choosing in. Friday evening is such a lovely way to end the week and prepare yourself for the weekend. We've only got 30 minutes, so we're going to dive straight in. I'm going to encourage you first just to make sure that you've got your props handy, so you can use a dressing gown tie if you perhaps don't have a strap to hand, or maybe books, chunky books as alternative for blocks if you don't have blocks at home, and a cushion for when we get comfy toward the end. I'm going to ask you guys to jump straight into your downward facing dog when you're ready. Come over to your mat, downward facing dog. Let's prepare our bodies to start moving this evening. As always, at the start of all my practices, I encourage this sense of freedom, a sense of playtime really, just for you guys to start warming through yourself, through your physical space. So really just encourage the body as you meet your down dog to find a sense of play. You can pedal the feet. You can try perhaps balancing on different limbs. Maybe just allow the body to go where it feels it needs to go tonight. Can kind of look a little silly, or if you're a little more serious, you may choose just to be still where you are. And then once you start to get a little bit sensation from perhaps the backs of the legs, maybe even the spine, start to set up a solid foundational base here in your downward facing dog. So feet are roughly hip width apart. Soft bend in your knees if you're like me and your heels don't quite reach the earth, just to allow the tailbone to roll higher up to the sky. And then draw the shoulders back down your spine, really press the ground away as you start to melt your belly back towards your thighs. Now just gently shake the neck and the head and let all of the tension from your week go. And then take a full breath into the nose. Open the mouth and release. Now seal the lips as we start to find our rhythmic Ujjayi breath here together. We inhale into the nose 1 and exhale, keeping it in the nose. Inhale 2 and exhale, spinning the inner thighs to the back of the room for 3 and exhale. As you next breathe in, as slowly as you can, begin to unroll the spine, one vertebra at a time. Visualize the upper middle back guiding you forwards. Upper middle back carrying you to the very top of your mat. When you get there, navel is pulling to spine. Slight pull of your heart forward will help you find that length even through the back of your neck as the crown of the head travels to the front of the room. Take a full breath in with me. On the exhale, option 1 is to soften your knees to the mat. Option 2, chaturanga, high to low plank, depending on how you're feeling as we prepare the body to move. Inhale, flip your feet. We lift the chest, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Watch where your body is encouraging you to move in your space. Exhale, lift the spine. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward between the hands. Step, hop, or float your feet to meet the hands at the very top of your mat. Use your inhale to rise to a halfway lift. The shoulders are pulling away from your ears. As you exhale, release the knees and the belly over the thighs. And allow your entire posterior chain to soften. So all the way from your Achilles tendon, all the way to the back of the neck. Allow it all to be heavy and soft. Slowly, when you're ready to start unrolling, take this as slow or as fast and as energized as you feel this evening as you start to unroll. And as you reach the very top of your mat, roll the shoulders up, back, and down your spine. Find more length between the earlobes and your collarbones. And use an inhale then to draw the hands all the way overhead to the sky. Take a moment here Biceps wrapping behind the ears if you have the length and the space to do so. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and start to pull the body all the way over to the right side. Lateral flexion through the left side of the body. See if you can keep the balance and the weight between the feet the same. Last breath here. Use your exhale to bring you back upright. Switch the grip, left hand, right wrist. We inhale to slightly lengthen. Exhale, softening over to the left. Notice if you have a tendency to dump into your lower spine here. If that's you, continue drawing belly in and maybe slightly back off a little. One more breath. The exhale will bring you back to the center. Exhaling next, you bring hands to heart. Close the eyes. Choose if you would like to move with an intention or a purpose tonight. And begin to set your intention here. Let's breathe in together to seal those purposes. As you exhale, gently bow the head toward the hands. Surya Namaskar, guys, as we start to get loose into our bodies. Inhale the hands all the way overhead. Exhale, soften the knees as you melt yourself forward to Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway rise, growing tall, pull your belly in to help you grow longer in the torso. Exhale, step to your plank pose. Option 1, you modify the knees. Option 2, Chaturanga, high to low plank. We squeeze elbows through the ribs. Breathing into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Adho Mukha, Downward Dog. Let's breathe here together. 1. And exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, step, hope, or fly. Top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Grow tall through your fingers, sweep to the ceiling. And use the whole length of your exhale to melt you back to the earth. Halfway rise. Your vinyasa. Choose how you need to move this evening, led entirely by your breath. So try to worry a little less about what I'm doing in here and focus on what's going on inside your body tonight. Breathing in 1 and exhale. Last one of those, guys. Bend the knees, look forward, travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Softening over the thighs as you let it go. Hands to the ceiling, let's grow tall together. Your exhale will melt you all the way back down. Inhale. Exhale, vinyasa. Lifting heart. Breathe space into your chest. Adho Mukha, Downward Dog. Let's find 3 breaths here. We inhale and exhale together. Slow the breath for 2 and exhale. See if you can lift the tailbone any higher for 3 and exhale. As you next breathe in, guys, the right leg is going to sweep all the way to the sky. Keep the hips square and flex the foot. As you next breathe in, we rise to the left toes. As you exhale, draw the knee to meet your nose at the very top of your mat. Grounding deep through those hands, we are holding for 5, for 4, 3, 2, press firmer through your fingers, and 1, re-extend. On the exhale, right knee will find the back of your right elbow or tricep, as if that knee is traveling over a wall. We're here for 5, for 4, 3, keep those hips lifted for 2, and 1, re-extend. On the exhale, slow those transitions down. We come across the body, right knee, left elbow or tricep. We're holding 5. For 4, can you lift that knee higher? 3, 2, and 1, re-extend. Your exhale will step you to warrior 2. at the top of your mat. Notice where your breath is sitting in your body. Allow the shoulders to become soft. There is still this sense of rooting down through the bases of your feet, but a lift happening through the crown of your head. This balance of two energies rooting and rising. As you next inhale, guys, straighten the front leg. Lift the hands all the way overhead to the sky. As you exhale, we sink deep down into that right knee. Skandasana on the right side. Using the hands to firmly press at your chest, broaden your collarbones. We sink our seat, but our chest is high. We travel, breathing in. On the exhale, keep the seat as low as you can as we move all the way across. Sinking deep. Notice the external rotation that is happening through the right leg. So you're rotating the right femur bone in the socket rather than just moving the bones at the joints. Take a full breath in. Exhale, we travel across. Keep your seat low, heart is high. Breathing in. Exhale to transfer. Hopefully those glutes are active, they are switched on. Last one, guys, breath in. Exhale across. This time, we walk our hands around to frame the front foot. Hands will come to your heart space. We're finding the flattest, longest spine that you possibly can. Belly is almost on that thigh, but not quite, as you pull belly button to your spine. Full breath in together. On the exhale, we fly, warrior three, as you float left leg up behind you. The hands again are supporting that opening of your chest. Pull the shoulders away from your earlobes. And find how your breath now can start to serve your body. If you're a little wobbly, the breath can find those wobbles for stabilize. Let's take a full breath in together. This time as you exhale, left foot will meet the right foot. Keep bending your knees. You are there, Utkatasana chair pose. Shuffle back so you guys can see. Deep now seated in that chair. If you are activating through your trunk, you may start to notice your back body is starting to sensitize and kind of give you some feedback as you sink your seat a little bit deeper. Allow the shoulders to be heavy. We inhale together. As you exhale, rock forward into the toes. The heels are high. Internally squeezing through those thighs. Rooting through the tips of your toes, we sink our seat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1, you are there. Lift up through your heart. Exhale, hands to your mat. Now is your time for Bakasana, crane or crow pose. You can begin to come in. For those of you new to crow, you may just choose today to start rocking your weight forward and back into the hands and just seeing how you get on. If you're already in that crow, my biggest tip in crow is that you want to think about where your heart is traveling. If your gaze is down, your head is super heavy, so naturally if your gaze is down, the head is going to bring you down. Whereas if your chest is pulling forward and your eyes are traveling where you're going, naturally you find that deeper height, bigger lift through the chest. Headstanders, you can be taking it there. If you know that crow is not quite for you, Malasana, yogi squat, is also there for you here. Last few breaths where you are. And then from your Bakasana, if you're there, options to shoot back through the plank, and take your vinyasa. Otherwise, you just step back. We will all meet together in a downward facing dog. When you meet your down dog, try to minimize all your excess adjustments. The brain wants to keep you busy, so see if you can try resist and bring the focus back to the sound of your breath. Let's find 3 together. Inhaling 1 and exhale. Inhale 2 and exhale. Slowing the breath for 3 and exhale. On your next breath in, guys, left leg is finding the sky. Left leg high. No good or bad legs, although you may notice that one hamstring is slightly longer than the other. Try not to be too judgmental of the body, just different with the sides. Keep that left hip square, flex your foot. See if you can put the awareness in the back of your left leg. Notice how that changes the pose. As you next breathe in, rise to the right toes. Exhale, draw the knee to meet your nose. We find that protraction through the shoulders as we hold here for 5, 4, 3, navel pulling in for 2, and 1 as you re-extend. On the exhale, driving that left knee over your wall, we find left knee to left elbow or tricep. Hips stay lifted, we're here 5. 4, heart pulling forward, 3, 2, and 1, re-extend. Now slow your transitions down, try not to rush. Your last exhale comes across the body for that twist, left knee, right elbow or tricep. We are here 5, for 4, 3, see if you can lift that knee higher, 2, and 1, re-extend. Your next exhale steps you to warrior 2 at the top of your mat. Slow the breath. Using the exhale to ground you deeper through the bases of your feet. As you next breathe in, guys, hands lift overhead, we straighten the left leg. On the exhale, start to lunge deep into your left knee. We squat all the way down to your Skandasana. Now notice that external rotation happening through the right leg. Chest is elevated high, seat is low. Naturally your heel will lift away from the earth if your Achilles is a little short like mine, that's okay. Let's breathe in together and use the exhale to transfer slowly, slowly all the way across. Firing up those glutes. Make sure they're switched on. Breath in. Using the exhale, we transition all the way across. 2 more, guys. Breathing in. And exhale. Last time, full inhale. And transfer. As you meet that left leg, walk the hands around to frame the left foot and set yourself up in that low lunge. The hands then reach your heart space and you find the flattest, longest spine that you can. Visualize someone is pulling on the crown of your head with a piece of string, as well as pressing back, you're resisting through the right heel. Let's breathe in as we prepare to fly. Exhale will travel you forward to your warrior 3. And see if you can notice not just one contact point with your mat, but all 4 contact points through the base of that left foot. Use the breath to help you expand into the pose. Slight up dog of your chest as you take your last breath in. Exhale. Nice deep bend in your knees. And we inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lower back is active and hard here. Soften the shoulders. See if you can find a deeper height in your chest. Exhale, we rise into the toes and sink our seat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you breathe in, lift your chest. Exhale, Bakasana, second time. Hands will meet your mat. Again, guys, if this does not serve your body tonight, I absolutely encourage you not to do it. You have about 20 counts to really just take a nap if that's what you would rather do on this Friday. Otherwise, you can come all the way up. Headstand is again your second choice. To headstand, maybe take a variation with your legs. Using that top tip of looking where you're traveling and lifting your heart a little bit higher. Last few breaths here. And then if you have your shoot back through your plank, you can take it. Lifting the chest on your breath in, and then lifting the spine on your breath out. Minimizing all those distractions. Let's reconnect with our breath for 3. Inhaling 1, and exhale. Inhale 2, and exhale. Knitting your lower ribs together, we breathe for 3, and exhale. As you next breathe in, guys, slowly, slowly, let's find high plank. Keep pulling your navel to your spine to support the trunk. When you get there, your feet will step together at the back of your mat. Right hand finds the center. We roll to the blade of the right foot, and you are there in your side plank. I want you to really start to send your breath into your underneath rib cage as if you were trying to elevate like a balloon. So you feel that banana action happening through the underneath rib cage. We are reaching for something through those left fingers. And then we are transitioning together, guys. If this is too much, you can lower your underneath knee to the mat and take the same transition. The left knee is pulling to your chest. Find a hold of your left big toe with your left peace finger. And slowly, slowly, slowly control this walk. We step the foot to the top of your mat. Release the back knee and inhale the hands all the way overhead. Anjaneyasana. Close the eyes when you get there. Maybe for some of you this arm position may not be most suited to the pose. You can also experiment with reverse prayer behind the back of the head. If that's not serving you, you may choose to clasp the hands and extend the hands long down your back thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. From wherever you are with those hands, they gently release. They come to frame your front foot. Start to tuck your back toes and draw your hips to the back of the room, which will extend your left leg. Flexing the left toes back to the face, you are there. Adho Hanumanasana, your half monkey splits. I want you to notice what's happening in your spine here. Naturally, what seems to happen is we try and get our head toward the foot, which means we end up doming into the upper back. And because we are always looking to find more length and more space, I want you to think about bringing your heart to your foot rather than your head. You may start to notice that the upper back and the thoracic therefore have a little space to move. If you have a full Hanuman that you would much rather be taking, guys, full split is there for you as well. Last breaths. One more inhale. As you exhale, we very gently bend back into the left leg. Begin to then shuffle your left foot all the way over to meet your right wrist. The left knee will then meet your left wrist as you set up in preparation for your pigeon pose. If you find that you have a big space underneath the left glute, please support your body. That likely is not your flexibility that's keeping that height in the glutes. That's probably your skeleton or the way your muscles and bones are shaped. So just be kind to yourself. The hands will then be wide, either side of the front leg. Use your inhale to lift the chest and the exhale to melt you all the way down and forward as you release into that pigeon. Allowing here the breath to be full, to circulate to every bit of sensation that is arriving. Full breath in. On the exhale, slowly making your way back up. Tucking your back toes so that you can lift the back knee. And in one sweeping inhale, send your left leg back to the sky. Three-legged downward facing dog. Take a full bend in the left knee, squeeze the heel to the hip. Maybe you draw some big circles with that knee as you allow new prana, new blood flow to arrive into that space. And then meet me in downward facing dog. We prepare for the opposite side, guys. As you breathe in, slow unroll through your plank. Bringing the feet to touch at the back of your mat. Left hand to the center, we roll to the blade of the left foot. Right hand, fingertips are reaching for something in the ceiling. Maybe it's that pizza that you're having for your dinner, like me. And start to rise your hips a little higher to the sky. We transition together, guys. Remember, the underneath knee can be down. Squeeze the right knee to the chest. Find a hold of your right big toe. And slowly, slowly, slowly step that foot forward. Back knee releases. We inhale, hands to the sky. Anjane. Deep opening for the hip flexor group. So as if you're like me and you are sitting down a lot during the day, you may be feeling kind of twinge or pull in your lower back. That's likely because your hip flexor muscles are shortening from sitting down. So this is a really nice way to start to get into those tension layers. Full breath in, guys. Exhaling to release. The hands frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes, draw the hips back, extend the front leg, flex the front foot, and you arrive into your Adho Hanuman. Focusing on that lift and space through the heart. Can you soften through that sensation, through that feedback with every breath out? If you took your full split on the opposite side, you can start to take it now. Last breaths wherever you are, guys. And your next exhale will gently shift you forward, bending into the right knee. Then shuffle the foot all the way over to the opposite wrist. The right knee will set up against your right wrist. Maybe you take a couple of shuffles to get yourself in a more suited position. That's okay. If it's not feeling right in your body, then it's probably not right. So really listen to your guts. As you breathe in, rise your heart high. Use your exhale to melt you forward. And then just notice if you can gently soften your glutes here. See if you can release the tension that you've held. Softening the muscles in the face, jaw, cheeks. Last breaths here. Inhale together. Deep breath out as you guide yourself back upright. Tuck your back toes. Inhale as you send the right leg back to the sky. Three-legged downward facing dog. Nice deep squeeze of your right heel to sit bone, and then draw some circles with your knee. As big or as small as feels suited. We meet back, downward dog, and then we find our last high plank of this practice together, guys. Inhale as you travel forward, and slowly over the count of 5, we are going to release onto our bellies. Navel pulling to spine, we release for 5. For 4, if this is too much, you soften your knees for 3, 2, and for 1 as you release. Roll onto your back body, please. And squeeze your knees up towards your chest and give your lower back a little massage on the earth. If you have more time to stay here, guys, I encourage you to take some final movements. Otherwise, if you're ready for your final place this evening, you can start to extend your legs. Outer edges of your mat, the hands will be wide. Maybe a gentle sway of the neck, just to release any last tension points. Settle somewhere in the center and swallow all excess saliva in your mouth. We take a full breath in, sighing out through the mouth to let the week go. As I mentioned, guys, if you have longer for your Friday evening ahead to remain where you are, then I very much encourage you to stay. If you would like to close the practice with me tonight, start to slowly draw your knees back to your chest. Roll to one side and make your way up to a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Hands will meet your knees. Close the eyes here as we just take a moment to sit with our intention, offering the energy that you've created this evening either back to that intention, that purpose, or perhaps to someone else who needs it more than you. Join the palms together, float the thumbs to the third eye center, the space between the eyebrows. We take a full breath in together, and a loud breath out. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Friday evening is such a lovely way to end the week, so thank you very much for watching, for practicing, for moving and breathing your way into the weekend. I hope you have a great one, guys. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one. Namaste.